Well, it's cracking, people. Angelic Mayhem here. Welcome to episode 4. Boy, have I got an exciting one for you today. It all came about because I was curious about something. My thought was this. If I wanted a city with only high-rises and nothing else, how big should I make my street grid? And then it occurred to me, how do I even measure my street grid? After much experimentation and swearing at Maxis for not including a ruler in the game, I came up with an experiment. This is Trinity Point, and what I've done here is build up a little city with some dirt roads placed in a very specific way. I put down my first road along the bottom of the map. I then put a second one running parallel to it just a short distance away. How far away, you might ask? Well, since I didn't have a ruler, the only way to measure it is in simoleons. Specifically, how many simoleons do I have to spend in dirt road construction to connect the two roads? Using this metric, I put the second road 50 simoleons worth of dirt away from the first road. Then I set up a third road 100 simoleons away from the second road. The next one was 150 simoleons away, then 200, and so on. I then zoned residential, commercial, and industrial, separated by railroad tracks, surrounded the whole thing with fire, police, and schools, then sat back for a few hours and watched how the buildings developed. So here we are. This is our low density building setup. As you can see, all the roads are dirt roads, so that will prevent the buildings from becoming anything higher than low density. And they're popping in quite nicely. Now right here, what you're going to notice is that there are buildings on the left and buildings on the right, and they touch perfectly. Their borders are perfectly matched. The measurement of that particular section is a 250 simoleon dirt road section. A SIM+METER, if you will. So that appears to be the perfect width if you're going to have low density houses and you want them to butt up right next to each other. Down here in the commercial and the industrial area, you can see that they're doing the same thing. So it doesn't matter which zone it is, all the buildings are the same depth. Now, how wide they are changes depending upon the building, but they're all the same deep. Alright, so we're going to let this develop a little bit more into some medium property. I'm going to upgrade all these roads, and then I will be back in an hour or so. So here we are back after a short break. It's been about 3 or 4 hours. The city is now up to seriously medium dense. It won't go any higher than that because all the streets are medium density, so all the buildings are being held hostage. Down here at the bottom you can see there are some commercial properties that have developed very nicely, due in no small part to the Arc de Triomphe. And now we're going to head back up here. We have our residential strip, that's our 250, and as you can see, the medium density buildings fit in there absolutely perfectly. Couldn't ask for a tighter fit. So it appears that 250 is perfect not only for low density, but also for medium density. Now when we scroll down here, what you're going to see is something that I didn't expect to see. This is a 450 width block. And as you can see, the medium density residential buildings fit in there perfectly, and they're right next to each other. So 250 and 450 seems to work perfect for the medium density buildings. We're going to let this go ahead and develop into some high density, then we'll be back to do our final measurements. Alright, and we're back. It's been about an hour. I've had myself a sandwich, now I'm well fed. And we're going to go over here to our little 250 strip. And as you can see, here is the 300 strip, and you can see that there's plenty of wasted space, but the 250 is perfect. I've got some skyscrapers here, and they look really nice. Now you can see that they fit perfectly into the 250 space, so that is without question the size of the high density buildings. Now here we have high density mixed with low density because the low density can't grow because it doesn't have enough room. Now that might be another way that you want to go if you want to have a city that looks like that. But for me, I'm looking specifically for high rises everywhere as dense and packed in as is humanly possible. Here's our 450 space. As you can see, the high rises fit together perfectly. And over here in this space, I just added a couple of parks to try and get as wealthy high rises as I possibly could. And they turned out very nice. So 250 and 450, those are the numbers that you want to be shooting for if you want to pack your city in as tightly as possible. This was a great successful experiment, and I look forward to the next one. So there you go, people. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of my SimCityversity video blog. You can find the link to my other articles in the description below. Give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you next time.